Hello everyone, this is Silverdisc. The third season of The Living World has just started, and so far the Bloodstones have been a rather large focus. I'm quite happy about this because I think that the Bloodstones are some of the most interesting things in the Guild Wars universe. However, the Bloodstones have not really played a large role in Guild Wars 2 so far, so a lot of players don't have any idea what the Bloodstones actually are. In this video I tell you everything you need to know about the Bloodstones. This is the second episode of my video series Guild Wars Lore Recap. To understand the purpose of the Bloodstones, we first need to take a quick look at the Elder Dragons. In Guild Wars 2, the Elder Dragons are our primary antagonists. This is not the first time they are awakening, however. The Elder Dragons wake up in cycles. Every time they wake up, they consume most magic on Tyria and then go back to sleep. When they go back to sleep, there's barely any magic left on Tyria, and usually most life has been exterminated as well. The consumed magic is stored inside of the Elder Dragons, and over thousands of years this magic slowly leaks back into the world. The Elder Dragons then wake up again to consume it, so one could say that the Elder Dragons keep the magic on Tyria in balance. When there's lots of magic, the dragons consume it, and afterwards there's barely any magic left. The magic then slowly leaks back into the world, and when there's lots of it, the dragons once again wake up to consume it. The last time the Elder Dragons woke up was about 10,000 years ago, which is long before the humans were brought to Tyria and long before most lore we know about. The Bloodstones, however, were created during this ancient time. During the last rising of the Elder Dragons, there were 5 great races: the Dwarves, the Jotun, the Forgotten, the Seers, and the Marsat. By the way, if you want to know more about the Marsat, you should check out my previous video in this series. These races were determined to not be exterminated by the Elder Dragons. The Seers were aware that, even if they would survive, there would barely be any magic left afterwards. To prevent this, they constructed a large stone. They filled this stone with an enormous amount of uncorrupted magic. Their plan succeeded. The Elder Dragons were not able to get to this magic because it was locked away safely into this stone. It is also speculated that, because so much magic had been sealed away, the dragons starved and had to go back to sleep earlier. There's also some interesting stuff going on with the Marsat here, but for that I refer to my video on the Marsat. Thousands of years later, the human gods came to Tyria, bringing the humans with them. The gods started hoarding magical artifacts in the vaults of their holy city, Ara. The gods discovered the stone filled with magic that had been left by the Seers, and they brought it here. At this point, there was probably some magic around in Tyria already. Much of the magic had been sealed away into the stone by the Seers, but we know that when the Elder Dragons sleep, the magic they consumed slowly leaks back into the world. So, it makes sense that there would be some magic around at this time. The gods deemed it safe to release the magic from the stone into the world because, well, the dragons were asleep and could not consume it. The gods unsealed the stone and the magic inside of it started flowing back into the world. Many of the in-game sources state that it was specifically Abaddon, the human god of water and secrets, who did this, but the writers have confirmed that it was something that all the human gods did together. Personally, I think that it was probably Abaddon's idea, with the other gods going along with his plan. Magic started flowing back into the world from the unsealed stone. Human history makes it seem as if there was one specific moment when the gods gave the races of Tyria magic, but like I said earlier, we know that there was probably some magic around already, and the magic did not just get released all at once, it started flowing out of the stone gradually. There is even a book inside of the Durman Priory basement that suggests that Abaddon gave away the stone itself to some races, but I'm not quite sure if that information is accurate. We need to keep in mind that much of the things we know about this topic were written down by characters inside of the Guild Wars universe. This all happened more than 1,000 years ago and, well, history gets warped over time. What we do know for sure is that after the gods released magic from the stone back into Tyria, the races of Tyria went to war with each other. It is, again, a bit fake about why they were doing this exactly. It makes a lot of sense that they did this just because they had much more magic at their disposal now and felt confident enough to go to war, but it has also been suggested that the races were fighting over control of the actual stone. Human historians stated that this war lasted for about a year, but the writers have said that this happened over hundreds of years. At some point during this war, King Doric, the king of the United Human Kingdoms of Tyria, traveled to the holy city of the gods, Ara, to seek an audience with the gods. He begged them to take back the magic to stop the wars. The gods listened to him. They shattered the stone into 5 pieces and sealed the stones with King Doric's blood. At this point, the stones became known as the Bloodstones. When they did this, they even increased the amount of magic inside of the Bloodstones by using magic from around Ra, which, well, had been leaking from Zaitan, who was sleeping deep beneath ore. Because the stone had been shattered, the flow of magic back into Tyria slowed down, but it didn't stop completely. The stone was split into 4 regular pieces and 1 keystone that, according to legend, could be used to reunite all Bloodstones into one huge stone. According to human historians, each of the 4 regular Bloodstones represented a school of magic. The schools of magic were aggression, destruction, preservation, and denial. This, to them, explained why humans could not control all schools of magic at the same time. However, in Guild Wars 2, this idea of different schools of magic seems to not really hold up. It is very likely that these were just things that you humans made up at some point. The gods threw the Bloodstones into a volcano on the Ring of Fire island chain. Abaddon, the human god who was most likely primarily responsible for releasing the magic, did not agree with the splitting of the stone at all. He was furious. I do not have time to go into Abaddon's history too much right now, maybe that's a topic for a future video, but eventually Abaddon went to war against the 5 other gods. Abaddon was defeated and imprisoned in another dimension known as the Realm of Torment. At this point, the gods left Tyria, an event known as the Exodus. After some time, the volcano in which the Bloodstones were stored erupted and the Bloodstones were spread around Tyria, still leaking some magic into the world. Humans started fighting over control of the Bloodstones in a series of wars known as the Guild Wars. These wars only came to an end when the Charge started to invade the human kingdoms. Right now, we know the location of 3 of the Bloodstones. One of them is hidden deep in the jungle in an area known as Bloodstone Fen. This is the Bloodstone we just now encountered in the first episode of Living World Season 3. Another one is hidden in a cave in the southern Shiver Peaks. In Guild Wars 1, this cave was a dungeon and we could reach the Bloodstone. You can find this cave in Guild Wars 2 as well. It's hidden in the Straits of Devastation, but there is a closed-off door, so we cannot access the actual stone. There is also a Bloodstone located in the Ring of Fire island chain, close to the volcano in which the stones were thrown. The Bloodstones have very powerful magical properties. They do not only leak magic back into Tyria, they also trap the souls of beings that die close to the Bloodstone. The Mersad and the White Mantle have exploited this fact in the past to charge their soul batteries. For more details about this, I refer to my previous lore recap video about the Mersad. The Bloodstones that we have seen so far all had a mysterious inscription on them. This same symbol also shows up when you open doors in the Bloodstone Caves dungeon in Guild Wars 1. The Bloodstone in Bloodstone Fen also had 6 circles surrounding this inscription. Various people have speculated that these circles are representing the same thing as the orbs in the Vision of the Eternal Alchemy that we saw in Living World Season 2. These serve for very powerful magic users, so it seems very likely that they had a good understanding of what we know as the Eternal Alchemy. It could very well be that this inscription represents the Eternal Alchemy, but we do not really have any concrete evidence to back this up. And that concludes my recap about the Bloodstones. I hope that this video has helped you understand the Bloodstones better, or at least has been enjoyable to watch. If you think I made a mistake somewhere, please let me know. If you want to see more in the future, subscribe to my channel. I'm thinking of doing a recap about Abaddon next time, but if you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. Any feedback is also very much appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.